Hi everyone, today I thought of doing this catch-up video because I have been kind of absent or relatively absent from YouTube in the last 6 months, I think, last couple of months, I don't know. And I kind of need to explain myself, or I just feel like talking about something and I don't know what to talk about because I haven't completed any clock projects since I finished with that Zuawerk wall clock. The main reason behind the lack of uploads recently is basically the fact that I kind of lost the interest to work on clocks. Mainly after completing my Zuawerk clock, I was kind of tired of it. So I took a break. And don't worry, I'm still interested in collecting clocks and stuff like that. But I wanted to take a break from that, so I focused myself on some other hobbies of mine, like playing some video games that I like. I don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's or Friday Night Funkin', yeah, stuff like that. And I also documented myself a little bit about Gothic architecture because I love old churches. And yeah, that is probably the main reason, or one of the main reasons, why I didn't upload anything for quite a while. And now let me explain you what happened during the time I was away. So going back to late June this year, on the 23rd or the 25th, I think, I can't remember properly, I took that exam that you have to take after graduating middle school, and a few days later the results have been published, and I was extremely happy that I got really good marks at both mathematics and my mother tongue. So I was relieved, and I could finally start working on some clock projects that have been awaiting completion for quite some time. About 3 days after the results have been published, I resumed working on that Zuawerk clock, and I completed the job in about a week, as I've been working on that clock for the past 2 months. I started working on it in early May and took a break from that 2 weeks before the exam. So after that clock was complete, I planned to do a video on it, but then another problem has appeared, of course. The problem that I'm talking about appeared long before I completed the clock, but it only got worse in mid-July, I think, or a few days after I completed the project. I can't really remember, but all that I can say for sure is that I had some problems back then, and they've recently come back regarding yeah, whatever that is. So yeah, I tried to make that thing work out, but although I think that I've won, I just don't feel fulfilled, man. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel that I've succeeded. And this thing has affected me emotionally for the past couple of weeks slash months. But recently I think that I got a little better. And that's kind of what I did during my absence from YouTube, apart from schoolwork and going out with friends so that I can vanish the thought of hanging myself. But that is completely unimportant because now we're going to talk about some horological related stuff. So the first notable change is the fact that I shifted some clocks around. I brought the Junghans Westminster wall clock in here because it kind of reminds me of the holidays, as last year I finished working on this clock about an hour before I started decorating my Christmas tree with my family. So it kind of reminds me of the holidays. And the Karl Werner is also here, because I miss seeing it. I don't really go into my living room all that much, and I rarely get to see this clock, so I brought it in here. Another big change has occurred in here. I'll leave you a couple of seconds to spot what's different. Did you see it? Well, who couldn't see it, of course. I finally got one of my favorite candy canes. So that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, by the way, I got an OG clock. I've been hunting for one of these for a long time and I'm very happy that I found this one for sale. It combines two of my favorite things, those being mechanical clocks and Gothic churches. The clock is currently in testing and I still need to sort a little problem with the escapement. It has some excess drop on the entry and exit palette. So this will be complete very soon. This cuckoo clock that you see right here is an almost complete project. It runs reasonably well. I need to get a longer pendulum for it because this clock did not come with the original pendulum and the one that I bought as a replacement is too short. And I need to do something about that. And also I need to replace the bellow top on this low note bellow. Here are some bits that together form the case of that Junghans carriage clock that you saw in my daylight savings video. I hope to get this complete by January. And this Junghans hanger clock has stopped working recently. It has a problem with the balance. The empty case that you see right here is a Vesna desk clock. It is not mine. A friend gave it to me hoping that I could fix it. And now I'm looking for a replacement platform so that I can get it going again. And this kitchen wall clock still isn't fixed. Because the Junghans clock has been moved to my room, this Yantar wall clock has been hung up in here. And I let it run for a couple of days so that the spring can unwind, and now it is almost completely unwound, and I hope that I can complete that process so that I can take the movement to bits and replace the two spring barrels because they are kind of disintegrating. Also, while I was away, I discovered some new information about some of my clocks. First of all, I thought that I was completely insane saying that this clock is non-original, but I was partially right, because if we go inside, that is the gong block, and it says GW on it. And up until now, I didn't know what those letters mean. Until about 2 days ago, I found some pictures with Gebrüder Wilde wall clocks, and all of them had the same gong block with this brownish color and GW initials on them. And that means that this clock has had either a movement transplant or a gong transplant. Also, something new that I discovered is the fact that my stupidity can reach enormous levels sometimes. In the video about this clock, I said that it is most likely British, but actually, as I think it is pretty clear by now, it was most likely made in southern Germany or Austria due to the movement construction. And the thing that made me think that this clock was British is one video from YouTube. Tommy Wiley has made a video about his Winterhandler und Hofmeier bracket clock with quarter striking, and the movement of that clock is similarly built to the one in this clock, although this one doesn't have quarter striking. And he compared that movement of his clock with a Smith's Enfield movement regarding the plate thickness. And I don't know why, but that made me think that Winterhandler und Hofmeier is or was a British brand. I mean, I don't know, the name of it doesn't sound German at all, like, why would it? So, yeah. I can be pretty stupid sometimes. Here on my desk is an alarm clock that is completely dismantled because it requires a clean. I got it today from one of my colleagues for Secret Santa. And I think that will wrap it up for this video, so make sure to click like and subscribe. I was Luca, and I'm going back to sleep.